Okay, so it's 2 days after I started this project, and the plaster is now, it's not fully dry, but so I can still make marks on it fairly easily. But it's dry enough to the touch. And so this is now 2 days after I started this project. What does that mean? Well, I started laying the plaster, the blue plaster, at 12:30 on Wednesday, and I finished uh, smoothing out and working on the edges about 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock. I had to let it set up for about an hour, the blue set up for about an hour, which is down there. And then I laid the skim coat. I started laying the skim coat about 3. That was the layer of yogurt consistency lime that I painted on. And I had let the blue has to set up so that it's not coming up into the lime when you're painting the lime on. So the first layer of lime I laid on, the white skim coat layer I laid on about 3 o'clock, and I let it set up at probably about 20-30 minutes. Then I ended up doing 2 more layers, and I was done a little bit after 4 o'clock. I left then and let it set and came back around 6:15 and decided it was still a little bit soft, so I decided to take it to my home studio and work on it there. So I did that, and I started working on it about 8 o'clock. And that was pretty, I could use my tools on it. I was able to smear, and I was able to make lines, but as I made lines, clumps of it came up. That's why I got some of these little things up here. And I worked on it for 2 hours, and this is pretty much what it looked like when I was done. And I came back the next day and it was still very soft. Had I known that, I could have actually left and come back a day later, and it probably would have been perfect to work on. And I could have worked on it, up until today. I still can see, see now I can't quite dig down into the, beyond the skim coat, but I can if I want to use the lines. And I can get kind of clean lines now. I don't want to do anything now because I feel like it's done and I don't want to mess it up with a new idea. But so that's the story. So generally speaking, you really need 2 solid days to work on this. The first day is preparation, laying of the plaster, the first round of plaster, and then the skim coat. And it would have been very good for me to take a break and then come back the next day and work on it. The time of the year right now, it is late October, mid-October in Indiana. It's a little bit humid, but not too humid. It's not cold outside. It's about, I don't know what the temperature is today, 50s to 70s is what it's been, but inside my house and my studio is comfortably 70 degrees. So, and not super humid, but not super dry. So those are the conditions. That's this graffito. It's done. It's the crazy bird who visited my backyard, I'm calling it. It's in honor of this Cooper's hawk that swooped in and has been swooping around our backyard looking, I believe, for mice and squirrels and chipmunks, and I'm not sure if he's found anything, but I know he's been around. And that's the story of this crazy bird.